Wouldn't you think he would have stopped and apologized? Help me up? Something? It only takes good manners to change the world. Okay, that may be a slight exaggeration too, but think about what life is like when someone treats you with respect, holds the door for you, says please, thank you, or excuse me. Get the picture? We're going to be talking about good manners and 10 rules of common courtesy to always remember. Good manners are about treating other people with kindness and respect and are a source of personal power and self-esteem. We'll be focusing on common courtesies, public behavior, cell phone use, appropriate language, and courtesy to adults.
Manners are so corny.
Manners are just so phony.
Who cares?
Who cares? If you think manners don't count, take a look at this.
I never really thought manners mattered. I thought, hey, I'll just be myself. And then I was at the mall with my girlfriend Allison, and 2 of my friend's parents came by to say hello to me.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Mr. Watson.
Hi, I'm Allison Rogers.
Oh, hello, I'm Mrs. Watson.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Mr. Watson.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Well, we've got some shopping to do also. Good to see you, Josh. Nice to meet you, Allison.
Nice meeting you.
Why didn't you introduce me to them? That was really awkward. It was like you were embarrassed to be with me or something.
No, it's just...
I panicked. I had no idea what to say or do.
There's a rule for introductions that makes this all very simple for you. While good manners are based on showing respect for other people, most societies have rules about how this is done. They're called etiquette rules. Let's see how Josh would have handled this if he knew the rule. Always present a friend to an older person, not an older person to a friend.
That sounds good. Oh!
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Mr. Watson.
Hey, Josh.
Mrs. Watson.
Hi, how are you, Josh?
Do you know my friend Allison?
Oh,
No, I don't think so.
Allison,
Hi.
Mr. and Mrs. Watson.
Nice to meet
hi,
you.
nice to meet you.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Well, we're gonna head on out.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Josh.
Okay, it was very nice to see you. Good to see
It was
you.
great to
Allison,
meet you.
nice to meet you, Allison.
Josh introduced Allison to the adults. That's because they're on a higher social level. They have more status in society because they're adults. So Allison is presented to them. Did you notice that when they shook hands, Allison made eye contact with the Watsons? That's important too. Introductions and greetings are important in society because they show your social intention. That is, they show your desire to interact in a positive way. Now we're going to talk about the 10 rules of common courtesy that I mentioned earlier. We'll start with the first rule. Show respect for others in words. Always say please when you make a request, and thank you when someone does something for you. Always say excuse me when you need to step in front of someone, or when you bump into a person by accident. Just because you didn't mean to step on somebody's foot, it doesn't mean you shouldn't say excuse me.
Oh, excuse me, Mom. Sorry, I didn't see you there.
That's okay, Annie. I didn't see you either.
Yeah, thanks. No problem.
That's right. You even need to be polite to your parents. After all, if they don't deserve it, who does? Okay, so almost no one really gets a pony for their birthday, but the important thing to remember is that whenever you receive a gift, you thank the person who gave it to you. You call or you write a note expressing your thanks. Did you notice that Ben didn't use any internet slang either? When you write to an adult, stick to the regular rules of grammar. It's important to remember that when it comes to good manners, everyone deserves to be treated politely. If you happen to have a butler and a maid at home waiting to take care of your every need, both are entitled to hear the words please and thank you.
Good afternoon, Miss Daphne.
Thank you, James. Patricia?
Is there anything we can do to be of service, Miss Daphne?
Yes, send some tea up to my room. 2% no sugar, please.
Will that be all, miss?
Have someone see to the horses and bring the limo around front.
Of course, Miss Daphne.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Patricia.
So that's rule number 1. Show your respect for others in words. Say thank you, please, and excuse me. And don't forget to send thank you notes. There are some things a person should never say to another person, out of respect. One that we hear a lot is when someone tells another person to shut up. It's very disrespectful.
Daphne, it's time to get ready to go meet Grandma.
Mom,
We can't be late. Go get ready.
will you shut up a second?
Excuse me? What did you say?
Never say shut up to anyone, especially a parent or other adult. It's one of the most rude things you can say to a person. Daphne's mom is now justified in donating all her video games to charity. So that's rule number 2. Never say shut up to anyone, but especially not to an adult. Rule number 3 is apologize when you do something wrong, especially if you hurt another person in some way or damage their property. Just say, "I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to dance on your iPod."
Oh man, look what I did. I'm so sorry. It was an accident.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
Look, I'm really sorry. Even though it was an accident, I want to help pay for a new one.
Really?
Here's my number. Call me when you get a replacement, and I'll try to help out with the cost.
That's rule number 3. Apologize if you've done something wrong, and if you can, make up for it. It's very important to be aware of your table manners, and that's rule number 4. Use good table manners.
So, Mr. Smith was like so horrible. Well, what about math class? Oh, right. Can I have a bread?
Yeah, sure.
Wait, do we not have any knives?
I don't like the way, comes back with too many of them.
That wasn't pretty, was it? So remember, when you eat, chew your food before swallowing it. Take human bites of food also, and don't lean your arms on the table. And don't forget, when dining, to ask for dishes to be passed. Don't lean across another person's space and grab the Brussels sprouts before anyone else can get to them. And remember, use your napkin.
You mean like this?
No, that's not what I meant. Daphne thinks this is so funny, but she actually looks gross and is being rude. One way we show others that we respect them is to show respect for their property. That's rule number 5. Show respect for the property of others.
Thanks for letting me borrow your sweater, April. There's just like one problem.
What?
Well, I forgot and left it on the floor of my room. And Marmaduke got it.
Marmaduke.
My pet llama. Here, thanks. Bye.
When someone lends you something, you don't leave it for the llama's lunch. Treat someone else's stuff with as much care as you would treat your own things. If you damage something, you should try to replace it, like Ben did when he stepped on my iPod. Another simple courtesy is shown when we wait and don't interrupt someone's conversation. When it's necessary to interrupt someone, we say, "Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt you."
Excuse me, Mr. and Mrs. Watson. I'm really sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, Zach, what is it?
Well, your car rolled into the fire hydrant and exploded into a huge ball of flames. Now the town's on fire. Sorry to interrupt you guys again.
Of course, in a real emergency, you aren't required to wait your turn to speak, but hopefully you know that. So that's rule number 6. Never interrupt a conversation.
Hi, Michael.
Oh, hey, April.
Didn't you hear? Everybody's meeting up at the movie theater.
Oh, actually, Josh is meeting me here first.
Really? I just spoke to him. He said he's already there.
I hate when he does this. He just forgets to tell me when he changes his plans, and I end up standing around like an idiot.
That's pretty rude. Come on.
Calling to let someone know you're not showing up is a common courtesy, like the others we've been talking about. You know something is rude if it is thoughtless, hurts someone's feelings, or inconveniences another person, like Josh did to Michael when he didn't call to say he wasn't going to meet him. So that's rule number 7. When you change your plans, let others know.
I was with my friends at the food court, and they were all acting a little stupid. It got out of hand.
You're so annoying.
You're worse than I am.
Good, like, you know.
Oh, that's funny.
Come on.
That's so annoying.
Maybe we should say something. I really don't want to deal with that for another half an hour.
Let's just go.
Yeah, let's just go.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to ask all of you to go home.
Why?
We've been getting a lot of complaints here, and everybody's saying there's food all over the place, and you guys are making too much noise. So I'm gonna have to please ask you all to go home.
Being thrown out of the food court like that was humiliating.
Yeah, acting stupid in public isn't cool. It's dumb.
When in public, we need to be conscious of how our behavior affects others. Disregarding other people's rights is rude, and most people won't put up with it in public places. When you talk loudly into a cell phone in a public place, that's as bad as it gets.
Hello? 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 Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm at the mall.
I, for one, will rest easy now that I know that April is at the mall. Seriously, everyone doesn't need or want to know your business. If you need to use a cell phone in public, step away from other people and lower your voice. People don't want to hear you.
I have this friend, Zach. He thinks it's funny to imitate people. Sometimes it is funny, but not when he does it in public or to someone he doesn't know. Once we went into the store and didn't notice the line. The clerk told us to go to the back of the line.
Sorry, you guys need to go to the back of the line. These people are ahead of you.
Sorry, you need to go to the back of the line. These people are ahead of you.
I'm sorry, I'll put these in a bag for you. Plastic's fine?
That was not funny. It was rude to embarrass another person like that in public, especially someone we don't even know.
Never confuse rudeness with humor. Everyone is entitled to be treated politely. Salespeople, waiters, ticket takers. I emphasize everyone deserves to be well treated. Be aware of how loud you are. Don't ever make fun of or embarrass another person, especially in public. That's rule number 8. Respect the needs of others in public places.
Hey, April.
Hey, Donna.
I'm going to the mall after school today. Want to come?
I can't, sorry.
Oh, well, maybe you can come over to my house later and we can hang out.
I have to go to the hospital. I have to see my mother. She had a facelift.
I just saw your mom in the office.
Oh, look, your shoes are untied.
While it's never polite to hurt someone's feelings, it's not a good idea to make up a huge lie like April did. If you get caught, it's embarrassing and it hurts the other person's feelings because they know you lied. Just think of something that can get you off the hook, like you have a lot of homework, which is pretty much always true anyway, right? When you keep politely refusing someone's invitations, they'll get the message eventually. The important thing here is to not hurt somebody's feelings. So remember rule number 9. When refusing an invitation, be kind. One of the worst things is when young people are rude to adults. That's rule number 10. Always be polite to adults, especially elderly people and your teachers.
So how'd you like the chicken?
It was really good, Grandma.
So Daphne, how's school?
Boring.
What are you studying?
Boring stuff.
Well, there must be something you like at school.
Lunch. I'm gonna go watch some TV.
Sorry Daphne was so rude, Grandma.
Oh, I know, Michael. I'm sure she doesn't mean it.
I guess not.
How about some cake?
Thanks, Grandma.
Showing respect to the elderly is more important than breathing. I'm serious. They deserve every ounce of respect you have, and then some. It's important to show all adults you have good manners, though. That includes total strangers, all of your relatives, people who wait on you, and especially your teachers.
Look, I'm not exactly perfect in class, but I hate it when kids are rude to the teacher. It makes me feel weird.
Take out your textbooks and turn to chapter 3.
I hate this class.
Jason, please don't make your comments out loud.
This class is so dumb, and it's boring.
You might not find it as entertaining as a chat room, but I think you might like this chapter. It's about how it took millions of years for all the rocks to form. And Jason, you get to memorize so many different facts. You won't want to do anything else for days.
It's not funny when you're rude to Miss Mayhem.
But her class is so boring. I have to joke around.
But it's not a joke. She asked you politely not to talk out loud, okay?
Okay.
Some kids think that saying rude things to an adult is funny. It's not. It just makes you look bad. And think about when the teacher is grading Jason's final exam, and he only needs one more point to pass, and it's really close, and maybe he deserves the extra point, maybe he doesn't. Do you think the teacher will give him the extra point?
Jason's test is really close. Maybe I can find one more point to pass him.
1 point, just 1 point, please.
Nope, don't see one. That's a shame.
Sometimes being polite is just smart, as well as being the right thing to do. So remember rule number 10. Always be polite to adults, especially the elderly, and your teachers. When it comes to good manners, use your head. Think about what others expect of you. When you use good manners, you always have control of yourself and your behavior, and that makes you feel pretty good. As I said in the beginning of the program, good manners are a source of personal power and self-esteem.
It's good to know that no matter what's happening, you know how to act. Knowing the rules makes social situations a lot easier.
Remember rule number 1. Say words to show respect. Always say please, thank you, and excuse me.
Remember rule number 2. Never say shut up to anyone.
Remember rule number 3. Always apologize if you do something wrong. Even if it is an accident, say that you're sorry.
Remember rule number 4. Use good table manners, especially in public.
Remember rule number 5. Show respect for the property of others. If you damage something, try to replace it.
Rule number 6. Never interrupt a conversation. If it's necessary, always say, excuse me.
Remember rule number 7. If you're going to change your plans, let others know. Don't leave people waiting around if you're not going to show up.
Rule number 8. Pay attention to the needs of others in public. Don't make a lot of noise in restaurants. Use your cell phone quietly. And never embarrass another person. Rule number 9. When refusing an invitation, be kind. Think about the other person's feelings.
And rule number 10. Always be polite to adults, especially elderly people and your teachers.
Remember that being mean is never funny. It's rude.
Using good manners shows that you're considerate, kind, and mature.
So, remember those 10 rules of common courtesy, and you will always know what to do. You will be in control of your own behavior, which gives you great personal power. Now, I know there's a lot of stuff we didn't get a chance to cover, and I'm sure you're very disappointed. So feel free to run right out and buy a book on etiquette. And I'll see all of you at the annual Teen Festival for Good Manners and Rules of Etiquette when it convenes on the Mall in Washington, D.C. this spring. Right? Right.